You have been alive for 2 years, not in sunlight, not in open air, underwater, wedged between rocks at the bottom of a river in complete darkness, eating algae off stone surfaces in water so cold it barely moves. During this time your skin has shed up to 50 times. Not once, not twice, 50. Each time your exoskeleton splits open and you crawl out of your own body and wait, soft and exposed, while the new one hardens around you. You have done this 50 times. Alone. In the dark. At the bottom of a river. And you have never once seen the sky. You are a Mayfly nymph. Your order is called Ephemeroptera, which is Latin for short-lived with wings. Someone named you after the worst part before you even hatched. Here is the part nobody mentions. Right now at the bottom of that river there are 1,400 of you in a single square foot of riverbed. 1,400 bodies all wedged into the same dark gravel, all doing the same thing. Waiting. Eating algae. Shedding skin. Waiting some more. The fish know exactly where you are. You are a vital source of food for fish and other aquatic creatures, which is a polite way of saying you exist in enormous numbers specifically to be eaten. The river you live in is not your home. It is a cafeteria, and you are the menu. Skip forward 2 years, something shifts. Your body knows before your brain does. You stop eating. You stop moving the way you moved. Something inside you, some biological clock that has been counting since the moment you hatched, reaches 0. And you start moving upward. You crawl up through the water column. You reach the surface. You break through, and then you shed your skin one final time. You split open right there at the surface of the water. Your wings unfold from inside your old body. You pull yourself free. You are no longer a nymph. You are something new. And that is when you discover what you were born without. A mouth. Not broken. Not damaged. Not underdeveloped. You have no functional mouthparts. You have no digestive system. Nature built you without one. While you were at the bottom of that river for 2 years learning to exist, nobody included a way for you to eat in the final design. The adult mayfly lives just long enough to mate and reproduce. That is the full job description. The entire purpose. Everything that comes after the river is just a countdown. You have a few hours. Some species get a full day. At least one species gets 2. Most do not. You hatch, you dry your wings, and the clock is already moving. Your body is running entirely on stored energy from 2 years of eating algae in the dark. The moment that energy runs out, and it will, you stop. There is no eating your way to more time. There is no resting to conserve what is left. There is only flying. You join a swarm. Swarms of billions of adult mayflies have been recorded and are frequently detectable on weather radar. Read that again. Billions detectable on radar, which sounds impressive until you understand what you are actually looking at. Billions of animals all hatched at the same time, all with the same few hours, all doing the same frantic search simultaneously. The males dance in large swarms to attract females. That is the scientific description. Dance. As if it is joyful. As if it is not billions of dying animals with no mouths burning through their last reserves trying to find a mate before their body simply runs out of fuel. You rise. You dip. You rise again. The pattern is locked into you by instinct, the same instinct that drove you up through the water, the same clock that has been running since you hatched. You did not choose this dance. You were built for it. Skip forward a few hours. You are still flying. Your energy reserves are lower than they were. You can feel it in a way that has no name because you have no frame of reference for what running out of life feels like. You just know the dip feels harder than it did. The swarm is thinning. Not because they found what they were looking for, because some of them are already done. Piles of dead mayflies follow a swarming event and are sometimes cleared by snowplow in towns near bodies of fresh water. Snowplow, not brooms. Snowplows. That is how many of you there are. That is what the end of your species' collective moment looks like. A snowplow driving through the aftermath, but not you. Not yet. You find a female. The mating is brief. It has to be. Neither of you has time for anything that takes more than seconds. The female can produce fewer than 50 to more than 10,000 eggs depending on the species. She will carry them to the water's surface and release them. They will sink to the bottom. And in 2 years, in that same dark gravel, in that same freezing water, the whole thing begins again. She has already started moving toward the water. You watch her go. And here is the thing that nobody talks about when they mention the mayfly. You are not a failure of evolution. You are not a mistake. You are precisely what millions of years of selection pressure produced on purpose. 2 years of slow, careful preparation for a few hours of flight. 50 molts. Surviving 1,400 neighbors in 1 square foot of riverbed. Surviving the fish. Surviving 2 winters. All of it, for a few hours without a mouth and a dance you did not choose and a countdown you cannot stop. The river takes the best 2 years of your life. The sky gets what is left. And somewhere on a road near a river tonight, a snowplow idles in the dark, waiting for morning.